Hello everyone, I'm Nick from nextstepnick.com. With me is Lord Ash.
Hello everyone.
Hello, and we are back again to talk about some of our favourite bosses from our favourite series. Now, you're probably going to guess what this is already from last week and from this little hint here.
Yes, the bat signal high in the sky, as you can see, is calling Superman to save the day.
Fantastic. So we're going to be looking at the Man of Steel. We're going to see how he deals with this sort of thing. To be honest, it'd be over a lot quicker.
It would be, yes.
Yeah, but with a new series title coming out potentially in the future, it has been hinted at, we thought we'd go back and look at some of our best and some of our worst bosses. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through a few now and just take a look at some of their best sides and their worst sides. I mean, for example, there is one person that kind of thinks that everything in this game is fantastic, but I'm not going to lie, I don't really agree.
You getting my good side? Ah, but heck, they're all good, aren't they?
No, they're not all good. But yes.
On to your first choice.
One of the best things in this game is not the fact that it's just got the voice actors from one of the best Batman
animated series
from the 90s, obviously Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill's the Joker. It's the boss lead-ups and sort of introductions to them, and there is one, as we've just seen flash across the screen. With, obviously, everyone who knows who's played this game is coming up is the Scarecrow. Now, most people know the Scarecrow not going to be as physically impactful for Batman, so he plays with his mind. And how he does it? Using gas.
Yeah, the only sign you've really got that he's using that mind control as well is those yellow eyes. You saw them flash up just there. You've got this whole scene here where he's being shown some of his worst fears. So we've got Jim dying. We've got all these sort of people that he can't save. I mean, I'm not sure how true that scene is with them inside the cage, actually, because it might be an illusion. I love this bit as well, where he's calling in to tell Oracle about her father, and then...
I was too late.
I'm sorry. The number you've dialed isn't available. Please leave a message after the tone.
It's great the way it plays with... It subverts your opinions. I think this is a really good choice. I really agree with you.
Yes. The fact as well, you've got like the warping, dissolving textures happening with the floor, like the tiles popping off. It unnerves you. Even though you are in, obviously, Arkham Asylum, House of the Mad, in Gotham City, it's still unnerving. Like, you've got the little added texture of the bugs creeping around.
It subverts your opinion, I think. And I like the fact as well that people say, oh, well, Batman would see through it. But the point is that this isn't really happening. It's his fears. So like the tiles coming off the wall, is that the fear of being exposed? With the bugs, what is that? Is that a fear of losing control? Is that a fear of something that's not afraid of him? Something that's scary? I don't know. But this is a fantastic bit here.
Yes, the reveal of Thomas Wayne.
Father.
You should have stood up to him.
I love the fact it twists stuff into a horror.
Yeah, the fact you've gone through this game as an action game, great combat system, then this.
Mom?
Help us, Bruce! Don't let us die!
As I said before, with a voice actor, you can really hear that emotion when he says, Mom?
Yeah.
It's...
Conroy is a fantastic Batman.
Indeed he is. And then there he is, the reveal of the Scarecrow. In my opinion, very, very good design of the Scarecrow in this one. I love the look of him, and this is his boss stage.
I love this.
Completely different from any other boss stage. It's like his own twisted version of Arkham. You can't see beyond the level you're in. You've got bits of the morgue that you were just in, bits of Arkham itself. You've got to traverse it.
I love this reveal.
The reveal of
so good.
Scarecrow himself.
Yeah, I like the fact as well that the bat signal is pointing away, and that's what Batman sees as hope, because it's like his personification of what he is, which is hope for the city.
And here you can see that little stumble with his head grab, the effect of Scarecrow's fear toxin digging down.
Yeah. I love the design of the claw as well, because I think the problem is with Scarecrow especially, it's very hard to make a character that looks like this scary. I mean, I really like the concept art here that we're looking at now.
Yeah, the original design, he looks like a sort of a scarecrow with the scythe that you find in the field. And the really good thing about this game in general is that it includes all of the behind the scenes stats of the villain bosses. But here we have the actual sort of boss stage. Now, some people would say, you don't actually punch Scarecrow. That's not what he's really about. It's about overcoming your own your own fears. And in this boss stage, Batman has no real control over the stage. He has to traverse it. You've got this massive observing Scarecrow constantly revolving around trying to search for him. Again, you've got the storm in the background. You've got like little bits of the actual level design floating around Scarecrow himself. What I do like is that you have to still actually use your gadgets in this
Yeah.
world to traverse, just as Batman would do in the real world. He would use his gadgets to overcome obvious bits.
I think what I like about this as well is that this is really a good metaphor for what Batman is, because he is just a man fighting against this huge, swirling crime, this massive crime and injustice in the city, and it is just him against everything.
Yeah.
And I think this is the reason why villains lose, is because they always underestimate Batman.
Yes.
And it's not that he's immortal, it's not that he's got these amazing powers, it's the fact that he is the kind of person to persevere through things.
Exactly.
He doesn't. It's not a case of, he has no fears. He has got fears, but he pushes through those fears.
He does.
I mean, I thought this was fantastic. I mean, beating Scarecrow is one thing, but I'll give you a clip here just of actually getting caught by him. And one of the greatest things I love about this game is I love the death scenes when a specific boss gets you.
Yeah,
So,
unique
for
villain
example,
dialogue when they win.
And at the end of fear, oblivion.
Now, speaking of which, we're going to go into one of my worst bosses.
The bat is broken.
Yeah, that's pretty grisly. Now,
Yeah.
I'll tell you why he's on there. I like Bane as a character. I think he's great. But I don't think he's great for the reason that people will think that I think he's great. It's not because he's this big muscle-bound Hulk. It's the fact that he's intelligent. It's the fact that he can problem himself. And you'll even see it now. We're going through the cards here, which again, great feature of the game. But it's going to mention here, Master Strategist. Intense focus. He's one of the only bad guys in the Batman mythos that figures out who Batman is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and again here, we're going to have an introduction here, but we're going to have a bit of a chat over this. But during
Really
this...
good lead up. Really good lead up.
Yeah, he's a prisoner in this game, and the thing with Bane is that Bane, like we said, is a master strategist. He's the kind of character to plan out ahead. I mean, when he originally beats Batman, we were talking about it earlier, you were saying...
In the comics, he originally beats Batman by knowing that a one-on-one initial head-to-head confrontation he may not win it. So in the original comics, Bane releases all of the villains from Arkham. Batman spends, I think, days rounding them all up. He's physically tired, he's exhausted. Then Bane confronts him in the Batcave, and when he's at his weakest, that's how he beats him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in this game, they don't quite do it that well.
I mean, I know they sort of redeem themselves in Arkham City by making Bane a little bit smarter. I think it's Arkham City.
Yes,
But-
you do a side quest with him, and in the other game, some people don't like it. I thought it was good. Was Arkham Origins?
I wasn't keen.
They did Bane a bit better in that one as well.
I think that's the thing, is Bane is scary because he is different from other villains in it. He has the strength and the brains. He's not a traditional, he's a hulking brute and therefore must be stupid. That was one of the major criticisms of the film,
Yeah.
was that he was a hulking brute and was stupid, whereas in actuality, he learns. And here, for example, he's been trapped by the Joker and also by one of the doctors, drained of his blood, used like a test subject, and yet when you do fight him, he just runs past you. And it's such an old job. He runs past you. You hit him in the head with a batarang.
It even goes slow-mo to sort of...
Yeah.
So you know I've got enough time to dodge out the way.
Yeah, he runs into a wall. And I forgot, full disclosure, I forgot you have to punch him after this. So I was just wandering. I mean, even now, I'm just wandering around. He moves really slowly. The sort of thought process behind the boss is very old hat. And the problem with this as well is it's highlighted by the fact, by the fact that there are other large enemies in the game that are more complex than Bane to beat. I mean, this was a tie-up for me between Killer Croc and Bane, because I think Killer Croc, to be honest, isn't handled well.
But again, the lead up to him, really good.
And that's part of the reason why I picked Bane, though, because with Killer Croc at least you can say, well, actually, Killer Croc he's quite traditionally, he's not the smartest, he fights how he fights, and I suppose it's true to what Croc would fight like to an extent.
Yeah.
With Bane, you've literally you've told me in your villain bio what he's like, and then you've subverted that completely to be this really aimless, running into walls villain. I mean, they do the cheapest thing to make this harder as well, which I know that every person who plays video games will hate, which is just, just put some ads in there.
Put some ads.
Put some ads in there, generic ads in there, they'll just get in the way. And the thing is that it's quite an interesting mechanic, because you have to time fighting them against Bane's charges, because he'll go straight through them as well as you.
Yeah, and that's the other thing as well, he'll knock them down, so you can actually use Bane to just beat the mobs anyway.
Yeah, and he doesn't... The thing is as well is that the Batarang, for example, you don't need to aim that. You can just fling it.
Fling it and it will auto sort of hit him.
Yeah.
Like, the thing with your Killer Croc one, at least he had his own unique boss stage.
Yeah.
Here, it's just sewer vents with some pipes.
Yeah.
Nothing that really screams, this is Bane. It's just...
Yeah, and I think the issue is here is, for example, I'm having more fun here fighting against these guys. I'm thinking, I can probably get a combo off. I wonder if I can do this in time. I wonder if we can do that in time. With Bane, though, he's just wandering around. I'm completely ignoring him at this point. He's about to throw a rock. I know that, I'll try and hit him with a batarang. Oh, yep, no, it didn't matter. He's taken out 3 guys.
Yeah.
It's literally a case of, it's so lazy from someone who they literally refer to as a master strategist.
Yeah. I can understand where they were possibly going with that the Titans overloaded his brain and things like that.
Yeah.
Which, for anyone who doesn't know, Titan is the new sort of steroid drug that they've injected into him to make him a mindless beast. But that's the problem. Bane is brute strength, great brain.
And the thing is, as well, is the Titan in this game, the actual stuff that they're saying is turning him into this beast, is derived from his own blood. And they've already said that he's got this incredible...
tolerance to venom, which is the normal sort of steroid.
And also, he's got this really incredible focus.
Yeah.
So the idea of him just losing focus and becoming this mindless. I mean, like now, there's not a lot going on. I mean, I've kind of forgotten he's in this fight at this point. I'm just flinging batarangs at him now and then. There we go. The last guy just took him out.
I don't actually think you've even taken a single hit.
No,
entire fight.
I do get. There is a part of the video where I'll show you, like I say at the start there, where I showed you him sort of taking you out, just because I think it's a really cool scene. But to put it in perspective, when I first played this game, I never saw that scene.
You just walked up to him, hit him twice, slow-mo flip on his back, and knock out the tubes.
Yeah.
And that's it.
The thing is, as well, is that Bane is the kind of character where I feel like they could have gone so much further. I would love for him to have been this clever fighter that utilised the environment a bit more. I mean, like now we've got this taking him out scene, and this is kind of interesting where the ceiling is collapsing, and I'm assuming that's from him pulling bits and pieces out of the ceiling and us crashing through the wall. But we've rescued Jim, we're getting out and everything like that, and it's actually the way he gets taken out. I mean, I won't say it, I won't spoil it. I want everyone to see it.
You will see it in a moment how he gets taken out.
But it's so... I was expecting more. What I really wanted was... There's a really great mechanic in this game with the Riddler, where he's sort of leaving you riddles and tricking you and deceiving you. And like with the Joker, there are places you go and they say, "I'll come back later, you haven't got this thing yet." And there's all these really interesting mechanics, especially in Arkham City. Here we go. So he's come outside. Maybe this is the second part of the boss fight. Maybe this is where we're going to use our environment. We're going to be a bit more intellectual about our combat. He's using grappling, for example. What's going to happen?
No, Bane. This time I break you.
And
Oh no.
taken out with a Batmobile. The one thing I would have liked, especially if you played the second game, is a Mr. Freeze type boss strategy with Bane.
Yeah.
You can't use the same thing on him twice.
Well, like this, for example, this is one of the things I would put up about this game.
What does it mean?
Bane has been saying Bruja, so he's against this woman who he calls the witch, the one who's been taking his blood. So you see him as a strategist. Why is he fighting Batman? They have no issue here. And this is just an example. This is from earlier in the game where you're fighting against one of the big guys. And to be fair, I didn't give this guy enough credit. I didn't think about it. I've actually taken a couple of hits here. I'm doing a lot more here, thinking about combat and combinations to beat this guy. And the thing is that when you're doing this against just a generic random dude, and these guys get copy-pasted all over the place later on.
they become regular enemies later on in the game.
And then this bit, for example, one of the things I'd really like to highlight about this bit, to be honest, is we've seen this really cool death scene. Yeah, it's an interesting introduction to Titan.
Well, that was unexpected, wasn't it?
Yes, unfortunately, that Bane encounter was unexpected. Anyway, please like, share and subscribe. It really does help out. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to head over to www.nextstepnick.com for some more content. And next week, what are we going to be doing?
What are you buying?
Hello, stranger.
If you can gather from that, we'll see you next time.
We'll see you then for the Man of Steel. Thank you very much.